28, day one. The quality this week is motivation. Motivated, the definition of motivated is inspired to do something. The quote, positive motivation is as important to good health as 3 meals a day, aerobic exercise, or a good night's sleep. Dr. Forrest Tennant, leading brain research chemist. Positive motivation. There's a book that was written called Man's Search for Meaning. If you have not read it, I highly suggest that you read it. The book was written by a German Jewish psychiatrist, Dr. Frankl. And he was in a concentration camp in World War II. And what Frankl found out is this: if there's a why in your life, the how does not matter. Now think about that. If there's a why in your life, why do you do things? Motivated is inspired to do something. Well, you have to have a why. Why do you get up today? Why do you listen to these lessons? You know, my hope, what I'm motivated to do why I'm motivated to do these lessons is I'm motivated that one of you, any one of you, will become a role model for these 36 qualities. We have 300 of these role models. The Jackie Robinsons, the Martin Luther Kings, the Abraham Lincolns, the George Washingtons. We have 300 role models of these leaders that demonstrate and model these qualities. Being motivated is finding the why in your life. Why is it that you do what you do? Now, along with that, we have what we call purpose-driven. Remember, that was the very first quality that we developed. And being purpose-driven is simply writing down goals that you're going to get done this week. And then on Friday, evaluating whether or not you get them done. Now think about why. See, if you have a why in your life, the how doesn't really matter. In the concentration camps, Frankl said there were so many guys that finally just gave up. And they died from starvation. But they actually died from suicide. They just quit living. They had no why. They had no why in their life. And he had a friend that was a research person, and he finally just gave up, and he said, I'm through. And he and his friends talked to this man and said, okay, who's going to do your research for you if you die? There's nobody capable of carrying on the research that you're doing. He developed a why. And Frankl says that the people that don't have a why in their life are the ones that commit suicide. What is your why? You know, people have different whys in their life. When I started coaching, my why was to win a state championship. And I can't tell you how many times I told myself, boy, if I could just win one state championship, I would be satisfied. I would be happy. I would never ask for anything again in my life. That's all I want to do. And we won the state championship in 1983 at Converse Judson. And on January the 11th that year, we went back to work. That was it. That was all there was to it. We won the state championship, and this is a great example of something like that. DW and I, Mary and Kathy, our wives, had actually driven to Dallas to watch the finals. We flew to Dallas and back. And so we got home before the wives and kids did. And so when we got home after we showered and everything and we were headed home, we knew there wasn't going to be anybody at home for another 3 or 4 hours. So we decided to stop, and we were going to stop at this place and get a drink. And so we went in, and we still had the Judson shirt on. We still had our Judson cap on. And we went in and we sat down, and the guy brought us a drink, and we said, we just won the state championship. He said, the drinks are still $1.25. You know, sometimes your why doesn't equate with what you thought it would. Once we started teaching this curriculum, my why completely changed. My motivation was to make better people out of the athletes that I coached. I wanted to win football games, because if you don't win football games, you get fired. But I wasn't willing to sell out the principles and the ethics and the character and the qualities to do that. I was more interested in developing good people. That's why we're doing this curriculum today. Motivation. What motivates you? You hear it all the time in all these ID channel stories and all that. What's the motive? You've got to find out what the motive is. What is your why? You know, for the first 20 years or so of our life, Mary and I, our why was our 2 kids. Everything we did was based around them, the Little League games, the dance recitals, all the things that we did. And when they got up and went to college, we had to sit down and say, we got to find out what our why is. Because our why for the last 18, 19 years have been these 2 kids. And you have to sit down and say, here's what I want to do. Here's why. And those are these 3 goals that you're going to write today. Write down 3 things that you're motivated to do this week. Write them down and write down a plan to get them accomplished. If you don't have a plan with them, you're a dreamer. And the last thing you want to be is a dreamer. Be purpose-driven. Page 152, developingcharacter.org. See you tomorrow.